Hello there. My name is Modi Roger, aka Klimza, and I am a One Piece star. And today I have a One Piece discussion video. Okay, it's not a discussion video, it's just me basically listing my top favorite One Piece arcs. My top 5 to be more specific. And before I start, let me just clear this out. I take every arc separately. Like Arabasta, separate. Alabasta, separately. Whiskey Peak, separately. Yeah, you might not know this, but some people actually take them as a saga. For instance, Water 7. Water 7 Revisited has nothing to do with Water 7. But they just say Water 7. And they'll put Enies Lobby in there. I know, I don't take it this way. The way I'm going to make my video, where I'm going to list my top 5, Enies Lobby has nothing to do with Water 7. And Water 7 has nothing to do with Enies Lobby. So without further ado, here goes my list. At number 5 is Arlong Park. Now here's the thing about Arlong Park. Arlong Park is not as good as other arcs I didn't put in my list. However, it's the arc where I got to One Piece. Like, I really liked this. Got me hooked to One Piece. At first when I watched Barate and the Kuro arc and some of that buggy stuff, I liked it. I liked Kuro a lot. I also liked Barate really a lot. But I didn't say, okay, I'm gonna go up to 400 episodes. I'm gonna marathon this thing. I was gonna drop it a few episodes later, but then I watched Arlong Park and I saw the Nami backstory and Arlong, how much of a dick he is. And man, since that time, since the Arlong, the walk to the Arlong Park, oh my god, I love that scene. That scene was probably my favorite scene in One Piece at that time. There weren't a lot of epic scenes back then, but yeah, Arlong Park, I'm not going to say, there's not a lot to say about Arlong Park because it was like 10 episodes, but from those 10 episodes, this is where like this is the first epic arc. This is the first arc where you're like a 10. Kuro, an 8. Barate, an 8.5. Arlong, a 10. There's a lot of 10 One Piece arcs, 10 out of 10. But Arlong was the first 10 out of 10. Therefore, it's special, and that's why it's in my top 5. Moving on. My number 4 is Skypiea. Now, when I first started watching Skypiea, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the setting because, I got used to them pirates in the sea, East Blue, going to the Grand Line. I loved that shit. I thought it was an adventure in the sea. That's where when I first saw One Piece, I thought it was going to the seas. Then went up there in the sky, in Skypiea. I didn't like this setting at first. I didn't like it. I didn't like how they have wings and everything. I didn't love it. I didn't love it at all. I wasn't feeling it. But then we got introduced to the most badass villain in One Piece till this day. I think he's the most badass villain in the show. That is Eneru, God Eneru. Best Logia, you cannot doubt that. Best Logia is Eneru. He has the best Logia. Electricity. Best Logia. That being said, Skypiea has moments. For instance, I started liking Skypiea by the time they reached to the 4 priests and Luffy, and I remember it was Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp. I'm not sure. And they fell and they found one of the priests, and God, that guy was annoying. And then later on they get Eneru. Eneru gets introduced in the show, and since then it's where it's picked up. The arc picked up, and that's when I start really liking the arc. But the reason why I put this in my top 5, the reason why it's in my top 5 is because of the because of the Nolan backstory. Nolan backstory. My favorite backstory in the show. The saddest death was Nolan's death. But when they started showing this backstory, oh man, another backstory. I'm not really a fan of them. I only like the Nami's backstory, but that's it. I wasn't a fan of the Zora's backstory, but it was very important to the series, and so was Sanji. I liked Sanji a bit. Back to the point. This story, Nolan's story, my God, it's fantastic. It connects to before they go up to Skypiea, I think it was one of his, I think his grandson, I'm not sure, was searching for the people, yeah, searching for Skypiea, to say the least. Yeah, he was searching for Skypiea, and that just proved that Skypiea exists. Well, then when they went up, that proved that it exists. Anyways, that story, that's where I was like, okay, this arc is fantastic. I was wrong. I was wrong. Skypiea was amazing. And the fight between Luffy and Eneru, that fight was epic. And you know how Eneru is, his Logia is electricity. I'm not sure what's the name, something. And Luffy's made of out rubber. Electricity, rubber. Yeah. That's where I love the moment when they showed his epic face, the reaction, when Luffy did not, like, he wasn't affected by electricity. I was like, ah, that was dope. That was epic. That was fantastic. Yeah, so that's my number 4, Skypiea. My number 3 is Impel Down. What can I say about Impel Down? The best thing about Impel Down, no, I'm gonna start this discussion by saying this. The best thing about Impel Down is Luffy. Luffy in this arc was fantastic, and we got introduced to tons of characters. To name a few: Ivankov, Mazlan, who else? Crocodile appeared again. The Revolutionary Army, a bit of the guy with the champagne, bottle of champagne, who's sometimes a woman, sometimes a man. I didn't understand. They have the same power, just like Ivankov. Not sure to understand. Oh, maybe just Ivankov. The thing is about this arc, Impel Down, I just loved the intensity in this arc. How Luffy, and, I'll just describe, because Impel Down is like the largest prison in the world. No one has ever break through this prison. Sorry, but if you watch the Strong World movie, Shiki was first person who break through. But that's filler. It has nothing to do with this story. So focusing on the story, Impel Down, how I believe it's 5.5 levels. At first I thought it was 6 levels, but no, it's 5.5. So the prison is 5.5 levels. Each level there's prisoners. And basically they rank them by their bounties. The lower you go down, the higher the bounty gets. And in 5.5, 5.5 is everyone exceeding 100 million. And I love all this. I loved where they show us Buggy and the fight between Mazlan and Luffy. I think it was level 4. Level 4, yes. I loved all that. But when they got to level 5.5, after I think they rescued, he got rescued. I'm not sure if this level 5.5 or 5 or 6. I'm not sure. The thing is, when Ivankov, I forget when Ivankov saved Luffy, or Bon Cray saved Luffy. When he got 5.5 and he made this alliance with Crocodile, Jim B. Who else was there? A lot of others. And that my friends, that was epic. I loved that. And then Blackbeard appears, and then that idiot Mazlan takes what was his name? I forgot his name. Shiryu of the Rain out of prison, and Shiryu turns out to be a dick, and he just kills everyone. I actually like that. He's just a sick swordsman. By the way, I have a prediction. I think Shiryu of the Rain is going to be, he's gonna fight with Zoro, because Zoro is gonna fight Mihawk in the final battle to decide who's the strongest swordsman in the world. He should get to other fighters. He should fight other people, other swordsmen. And until now, the only legitimate swordsman he fought was a ghost in Thriller Park. Kaku was not a swordsman. He wasn't. And yeah, unless you mention the guy who was the guy with Buggy. I forgot his name. He's one of his crew. He's so stupid. He's so weak. Not even worth mentioning. Anyways, so he has to fight someone. And Shiryu of the Rain, is a perfect fit, because he later on joined Blackbeard. And if there's a Blackbeard versus a Straw Hat fight, Shiryu could fight Zoro. And then if Zoro wins, he'll be in level to fight Mihawk later on. So that could be something. Back to the point, back to the Impel Down discussion. Yes, Yeah, that's Impel down. Then they got to Marineford, and that's a different story, a different discussion. Yes, Impel down. My number 2 is Innis Lobby. Innis Lobby has nothing to do with Water 7. Innis Lobby has nothing to do with Water 7. And nothing to yes. I'm pretty sure the part where they depart from Water 7 and they're on their way with the train, that was like my favorite part in One Piece. My favorite few episodes in One Piece, when they get to the train and they have Robin as hostage, and like in the huge train. No, actually no, they caught up with that train. That's doesn't matter. But the thing is that I love that part. Then they got to Innis Lobby, and man, just to want to clear that up, the opening for that arc, man, I love that. My favorite opening. I'm gonna make a video later on mentioning my top 5 openings, and that opening is one of my favorite One Piece openings. Brand new world, and it just connects with the story. I love the fights. My favorite fights in One Piece. Forget Marineford. Best fight: Kaku versus Zoro, Luffy versus Rob Lucci, and Sanji versus Jabra. And the first time I saw Beast Mode Chopper, I was panicking. What the hell? Chopper can do this? I love that. I love that. And Khalifa, I think, was versus Nami. Yeah, and Frankie. Epicness. Back then, Frankie was my favorite Straw Hat. Favorite. I actually thought Kaku was gonna join the crew before, but no, forget that. And Frankie was against the guy with the zipper. I forgot his name, but it was hilarious. My favorite fight. My funniest fight. Favorite fight was Kaku versus Zoro, then Rob Lucci versus Luffy. And the reason why Innis Lobby is my second favorite One Piece arc, perfect arc, is because of the fights. They have the best fights are in this arc. My number 1 doesn't have as good a fight as in Innis Lobby. And my number 1 favorite arc in One Piece is Marineford. I know, very predictable, but it's the best shonen arc of all time. The best shonen arc of all time. What can I say about this arc? Ace death, Whitebeard's death, the arrival of Shanks, Blackbeard being a cunt, all these stuff in one arc. You can't beat that. So yeah, this has been Modi Roger, aka Klimza. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm pretty sure this is my first one. This is my first video, so be gentle and like, dislike, comment. Just put your top 5 comments in the comments below. Just top 5 arcs. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Put your top 5 arcs in the comments section below if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. Like, dislike. Yeah, that's about it. Peace.